Hey everybody, John from No Joke NHL here on Tuesday 4/17 with our daily report. We're going to recap the games from last night, tell you who we like tonight, and recap our wagering. Last night we went 0-2. We had the Ottawa Senators at even against the New York Rangers, and we had over 5.5 plus 140. The final of the game, Rangers won, Ottawa nothing. So we went 0-2 for those two selections. Tough loss with Ottawa there. Ottawa missing their captain, Daniel Alfredsson, who was out with the injury after taking the hit from New York Rangers Hagelin in Game 2. He did not play, but the Ottawa Senators put up 39 shots on goal on Henrik Lundqvist, and he was absolutely brilliant in keeping the puck out of the net. 3 key saves even in the final minute with the extra attacker. I thought for sure that overtime was going to come last night. As a matter of fact, I think I'm still waiting for it. The over did not work out, which means a loss of 1 unit. But I want to take a moment to talk about betting the totals here in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And a lot of these games are lined at 5. And last night the over was minus 135 to that 5. I played over 5.5 to get the plus 140. And frankly, my opinion on this is that by doing that, by making that move, I lost 1 unit last night. Whereas if I laid the minus 135, I would have lost 1.35 units. Both of those lost convincingly. When I play a total, I'm not looking to play for the push really at any time. I'm looking to cash the ticket from the get-go. So rather than buy insurance in blackjack, which is a bad move, I think paying that heavy juice to get the comfort of the push of a 5, which has occurred 7 times out of 22 games, so we're 33% statistical chance by current numbers, small sample of course, of ending it at a push on 5. But nonetheless, that's not what we're playing for. We're playing to win. So if I want that 6th goal to be scored, I want to benefit from it more financially. So I'm going to lay the extra 5.5. I think this is kind of a ploy by the bookmakers. Like I said, just think about it. They pay when it's when it's under or over, and they pay nothing when it's a push. And so by getting that extra juice, they clean up on games last night where the perception was, I saw at least 3 other handicappers were on that game to go over last night. I looked for a little more open scoring. I'm not sure the Rangers are really aligned here to just mow down the Senators. Rangers really relying on their top stars to get the job done, and they're just not getting the 3rd and 4th line production that a playoff team needs. Oftentimes, people key on the stars, in the beginning of a series, and so it either takes an exceptional effort by those stars to put points on the board, or it takes these no-name 3rd and 4th line players to step up and put pucks in the net to get you past these rounds. And I don't see the Rangers really doing that at the moment. So the Rangers going to have to do something to put a little more pressure. 23 shots on goal last night, 8 shots in the first, 8 in the second, and 7 shots in the third. I just don't see them, winning a championship if this is the type of offensive pressure that you're going to be able to put on teams. Granted, Lundqvist will keep you in most of those games, but you really need to put some pucks in the net as well. So we're going to be watching that series as well. I think Ottawa is playing very live right now, and and like I said, the Rangers need to get something going, besides what they have right now, because Ottawa is circling the wagons and could make a move and delay this series, which ultimately could cost the Rangers down the road should they get by. The other game last night on the East Coast, Boston and Washington. Boston takes a 2-1 series lead with a 4-3 victory over the Capitals. Capitals led in this game 2 times. They led 1-0 and 2-1, and then the Bruins controlled the rest of the way. Bruins with 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third. Caps with 1 goal in each period. The final goal for the Bruins comes at with 1:53 remaining in the third. Zdeno Chara takes a low shot and it glances on a deflection up over the glove of Braden Holtby, who was not quite as stellar as he was in games past, but put bodies in front of the net and good things will happen for your offense, and that's what the Bruins did last night, as well as the Capitals, to get pressure on Thomas. 7 goals in this game, so this game did go over the total. And if you would have played the over 5.5, as I was just talking about, with the Ranger game, if you would have played over 5.5 in this game instead of the, I think over 5 was plus 105 because of the 2 low-scoring games in 1 and 2. Over 5.5 was nearly 2-1, I believe, off the top of my head. So definitely look forward to that. Because like I said, you're not playing for the comfort of the 5. You're playing to cash the ticket. The final game last night out on the West Coast, St. Louis beats San Jose 4-3. The Blues, with a 4-1 lead early in the third period, proceed to put 4 shots on goal for that third period and play in protect mode. And lo and behold, the Sharks sneak back into it with 2 goals in the third, including 1 within the final minute to make things interesting. And I'll stop and talk about laying the minus 1.5 puck line. In the regular season, if you had a team that was up 4-1 in the third period, chances are you were buying around at the bar from your puck line cover and victory that you were getting from your bookmaker. But in the playoffs, it's kind of a different animal. Teams that get bigger leads or get multiple goal leads are not looking to advance those leads bigger. They're just looking to now protect. Now that they have a 2-goal, 3-goal cushion, they're going to play a defensive style. They're not going to take chances and try to put more pucks on the more scores on the board. They're just going to protect the lead that they have. So buyer beware on puck lines. Last night, all 3 games were 1-goal games, and that seems to be the style in the playoffs. As a column by Todd Fuhrman at the beginning of the playoffs put out. St. Louis goes up 2-1. I have 2 series plays in this. I have St. Louis in 5 games and St. Louis in 6 games. So I'm definitely watching this with interest. Did not play last night, but I'm watching this one with interest. For tonight, we have the Florida Panthers facing the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey. Devils are a minus 175 favorite. The comeback on Florida at plus 155. The total here lined at 5, the under 5 at minus 120. We talked about that yesterday, about the insanity of laying juice to the under in any game, regardless of whether it's playoff or regular season. Even using the current numbers here, you have a 25% chance of cashing an under 5 in this playoff. So buyer beware if you're thinking about laying under. Ironically enough, I kind of like the over here. New Jersey is not the same. This isn't your daddy's New Jersey Devils where they played the zone 2 where they were just pinching off pucks and going through the neutral zone. The Devils can open it up. They basically played 2 periods out of 6 so far in this series. They played the first period of Game 1, put 3 goals on the board, and they played in the third period of Game 2 and put 2 quick goals on the board. So Devils can put the puck in the net if they set their mind to it and play offense. Florida the same, as Florida has scored 6 goals in the series in 2 games. So these 2 teams are not really defensive-minded. Brodeur, in the twilight of his career, had a decent season, but he is older, and pucks do go in the net when he plays. Jose Theodore, while playing admirably, shows that he can let a couple in a hurry here. So I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna take the over 5.5. I could get over 5 at even money, but I'm gonna take the over 5.5 at plus 170, and look to light up my bankroll with that play. As far as the side, I kind of would be leaning towards Florida because this is really a strange series. I thought the Devils were going to be the dominant team. They certainly look like that after the first 20 minutes of Game 1 were played, but something's going on with the Devils here, or whether it's Florida stepped up, I can't figure it out. But I do think that Florida is a little bit overpriced here, or undervalued, I should say, at plus 155, plus 160 if you can get it. Can't see can't see the sanity in laying 175 on the Devils. So if anything, I would be on the dog here at plus 155 or better. The other game tonight, Nashville and Detroit. Detroit a 160 favorite over Nashville at plus 140. This was 170 and 150 last night. Some Nashville money has obviously come in. The over-under is again lined at 5. The over to minus 130. All three of the games in this series have landed right on the 5. So nobody's cashed anything in this series with a total. I have 2 plays on Nashville, or actually 3 plays for the series. I have them at minus 115 for the series, and I bought them at 5 games and 6 games at 6-1 and 5.5-1 respectively. So if anything, I would be laying the money with Nashville. I do like the way they're playing. The Red Wings, like I said, if you're playing them tonight, you're basically playing on their home record or their reputation to their steeped historical Stanley Cup history that makes them the stronger team. But I really think Nashville is the better team this season overall on the road and at home, top to bottom, and that's who I obviously backed to win the series. So if anything, I would lay I would take the Predators as an underdog here. But I'm just going to sit back and watch tonight, and with interest with my series plays in mind. The third game tonight, Phoenix Coyotes and Chicago Blackhawks. Talk about a tight series. Blackhawks needing miraculous last 10-second of the game goals to force overtime. They lost the first one in overtime. They won the second one in overtime, and now they're flying back to Chicago. They're getting Taves back for now the 3rd consecutive game. That's going to help their chemistry a little bit. They're a 150 favorite to win tonight. The odds on the series have changed dramatically, and they're minus 145, the Blackhawks, to take this series. So Vegas and the public also believing in the Blackhawks here. It's another game that I really can't get a feel. I think these prices are pretty square, and so I don't really see an edge going one team or the other. Blackhawks not that great of reliability on the minus 1.5. They're at 2-1 on the puck line, minus 1.5. Same with the Red Wings as well. They were plus 200, or I'm sorry, plus 185 for them. Definitely not going to lay the minus 1.5 in the Devils, but of course we'd be getting a low return on that as well. So really my only play today is the over 5.5 at plus 170 in the New Jersey series, and like I said, I'm enjoying the hockey, not enjoying the results so far, but these series plays are still live, and so I'm looking to cash off those, and that'll make everything definitely better going forward. But hopefully we can get some of these nice totals going our way. And like I said, we want to avoid laying, we want to avoid taking the total of 5 if we can. If you have an out where you can lay, different totals, then I would definitely go for that. But like I said, playing with the total of 5 really is just playing into the hands of the books, not the players at all. So you've been warned, and thanks for coming every day. No Joke NHL on Twitter, No Joke NHL here on YouTube, and thanks for following. I'll see you tomorrow.